Same here. How is everything?
Not too bad, not too bad at all. We were talking a while ago, and I think oftentimes we take for granted being married, and we take for granted being single. I think it's a terrible thing. You can live with one and live without the other for a while, then you can live with the other and without the other for a while. Or vice versa. It's really something. And I've been thinking about this for quite a while. What are the advantages of being single? And are they worth it? And what are the advantages of being married? And are they worth it? Hey, what are the
Well,
advantages of being divorced?
those are good questions. Yeah, I guess I've been married, divorced, remarried. So you were before, I mean, you were married, now divorced. So I guess
Okay.
you have enough experience in order to be able to assess. So, but that's a very good question. Advantage of being advantage of being s- single can be good when you don't have to answer to anybody. There's no nagging, and But then sometimes loneliness sets in as well.
It creeps up on you. It does. It creeps up on you.
You
Loneliness
know.
will knock you in the head like a hammer.
So then you
So what do you do
wonder.
about it when you're lonely? Okay, let's say you get lonely. What do you do?
That's the thing. Unless you're very active socially, you have a good social circle and you won't feel it. But if you don't, that can be quite dismal. That can be quite stressful. But I think, you know,
I agree with you.
yeah. Give me
I
one
agree
second.
there. Mhm.
So that's a good, you know, that's something to think about. I don't know, uh, but it's not easy. Not easy at all. Uh,
Not at all. I,
I
I
think.
think there's a structure to it though that most people miss. I think people become so myopically concentrated on a certain aspect of their existence for a relationship or not. They become
Yeah,
so fixated on it, they forget about the pros and the cons of living the other life, the single life, or the divorced life, or even a married life, depending upon which perspective. And I'm wondering, how do we segregate that in our souls to figure out which one is more appropriate for us at the time? And I'm sure everybody's opinions and perspective, as well as the context, is different for everybody. But what's the likely propensity of somebody saying, "I want to be single and this is why," and can substantiate that against, "I want to be married and this is why." I think that this is why is something we should take a look at. I really do.
yeah, that's true. Well,
You
being
know,
married got its pros,
I remember
its
getting
cons, right?
married. I got married for all the wrong reasons. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Well, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
W- Okay, so what were the wrong reasons?
Well, the first thing is my child was uh, 3 months in the womb of my wife, of my ex-wife,
Okay.
and that kind of it. Well, when I knew we should start getting married, then of course my child was born later, but that kind of roped me in, so to speak, going through that whole gestation period, pregnancy, and I wasn't thinking straight. As a matter of fact, you and I, during this time frame, we were actually in Buenos Aires. Remember,
I
in
remember that.
Argentina.
Yes.
We were in Buenos Aires, and man, it was like I just figured women were crazy when they were pregnant. I just did. I mean, it was like dealing with, I don't want to say Satan, but it was like dealing with a demonic spirit. If I talked over the phone, it was always arguing and crying, but of course, hormonal things happen. Then after the child was born, after my daughter was born, uh, I think I fell more in love with my daughter than I did could ever have for my ex-wife, and I knew that.
Okay.
I knew it, especially my daughter. Uh, you remember she was born premature.
Yeah, I remember
Like
that.
she
Yeah.
was born at 6 months because we had to leave. We had to leave Argentina. We went to Chile, and then from
Yeah,
Chile, I think you stayed in Chile, and I went back to Dominican Republic
I
to where my
remember that.
ex
Yeah.
used to live there. And all that time, I knew in my head that this was unsustainable. I knew factually, and I tried telling everybody and myself that, I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to be a great father. I'm going to be this, that, and the other. I'm going to be a great husband. I won't cheat and all these kinds of things. Even though I didn't do most of those things, I did. What I did was perfunctory. I knew that I should have married someone differently, but I loved
Right.
my daughter so much, there was just no way I was going to be with anybody else. So I stuck to that for years. Ended up having two more children, and staying in that relationship for all the wrong reasons. One, I don't think it's necessary to love someone to spend the rest of your life with them. It's better. I think it's more palatable. I think it's a much more decent set of circumstances in which to find yourself. And then you have a partner. You have someone that you have company. You have a friend. You have a confidant. You have someone who believes in you and that you believe in them. And I say all these things now, many years later, than after not only being married, but also after my divorce, because I learned, even as an older man, I learned that none of the reasons that I wanted to be married were the right reasons. And the ones I just spewed out of my mouth just a few moments ago were the right reasons. I needed a buddy, a friend, a conversationalist. I need somebody to travel with. I needed somebody when I came home that they didn't have to be there. But when we got home and we got together, we were cool. And they may have been doing their thing and I was doing my thing, and they're working as a scientist and I'm working as a entrepreneur, and things just meld. That's what I needed.
Yeah.
But I went after the wrong thing. I wanted a wife and some kids, and bake some food and eat this and eat that and go on trips and all that old kind of superficial uh, joy, very superficial joy. Yeah, it was very enlightening because the longer you spend with someone, I think, and knowing that you don't want to be with them, and you're hurting not only them, but you're hurting yourself, knowing that you don't want to be there. It's like you imprison yourself and you create this facade by which you and through which you live and engage with everyone. And I think a lot of people find themselves doing perfunctory things, kind of like obligated things. Oh, the neighbors came by. Let's have a barbecue. Okay. Oh, they're coming over right now. We're gonna play cards. Okay. Let's go take the kids to the mall. Okay. And then you start getting into this routine, and it becomes you. You become your own facade, and your facade becomes your reality. Not even your alter ego. It just become a fake reality. I found that out way late. And then, of course, my ex, she wasn't the best person in the world when it came to fidelity. And and when you find things like that out, they happen, you
Yeah.
feel betrayed. So in a relationship, if you're married, and even bitter, which I'm not, I'm just being factual about what happened in my relationship. I have no ill feelings and no bitterness because of it. Matter of fact, I'm actually joyful that I'm no longer in it. But I think it's important that we take inventory of what happened and why it happened. When I think that in any relationship, okay, let's say I want to be single now, like I'm single now.
Yeah.
I reserve the right to do what I want to do,
That is
but
true.
I'm more now. I'm more now choosing what not to do. The older you get, the more mature you get, the less you want to do those things that you did prior to getting married when you were younger. You just, the less you want to do those things because they're not conducive to any kind of constructive lifestyle unless you just want to have fun and get laid. You know, there you go. But after that, I think we've been around the world, with many
Yeah.
people. So, we've had a ball out there. But after that, after a while, that becomes so small and mundane and boring. After, you roll over, you look at somebody, you don't really know them, you go, what are you doing here? Although you're drop dead gorgeous, although you're this, that, and the other, next, or let me get out of here, one of the two. I think I think our priorities are wrong. I think that if you're going to be single, these two sets of variables apply to one, you in a reflexive manner. And if you're going to be married, it applies to your mate in a reflexive manner. And that is, if you go into any kind of relationship, just me talking, if you find yourself in any kind of relationship, especially significant others and partners, I think that the first thing you have to have is respect. No respect, your relationship will be shit.
That is
Second
true.
thing you need to look for in a relationship, yeah, the second thing you need to look for is, do you honor that person? Okay, or are you able to honor that person across the table from your laying next to you in bed? So respect and honor are there, but trust is important. Honesty is important. Kindness is important. Courtesy is important. That, of course, comes with respect, but there's another kind of bodily courtesy as well as surrounding people, yourself with people who are courteous to you and your family and yourself. And I think that um, all of those ingredients, respect, honor, trust, kindness, understanding, empathy, uh, and commonality, yeah, traveling interests, hobbies, all of those things, once you get to know somebody in a relationship, if you're going to be married or in a significant other and boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever they call it in the world, wherever you are, those things need to be established first. Once those things are established, then comes love. Because now you have something to love and not just the person or their genitalia. You now can love that person because of who they are, because of how they respond to you, because of how you guys get along, because of your sense of humor with them. And because all of those things create love, which is supposedly that binding ingredient that's needed to keep you together for all time. And I think that's why the divorce rate is so high, because people get into the relationship because, oh, she's so fine. Oh, I love you so much because we, screw every day. Uh, uh, you're a jealous woman, but I don't notice it because you love me and you're fine. And then, a couple of years later, you get tired of your woman coming up to you and say, who are you with? What are you doing? Why you do this? Why you do that? You get tired of that. And then maybe
That's
you
true.
do it to her. Maybe she gets tired of it. So, and then you have less and less that you love about a person. But if you do all those other things first, I believe that's why I said it's reflexive upon yourself and your partner when you're in a relationship. All of those things they have to do for you, but you must also reciprocate and do those for them. That's why it's reflexive. You have to. You have to love, honor, or trust first. Trust, respect, honor, understand, be patient with, listen to, be listened to. And that's one of the biggest ones when you're in a relationship and someone doesn't want to be the person that actually listens. That's hard to eat, swallow. People fall out of love quickly for that one because everybody wants to be heard. And I think once those parameters are set for any relationship, at least in a loosely fit fashion, because it shouldn't, relationships shouldn't be that rigid, but they should have those ingredients where, every now and then there's some honor there. You respect them, you nurture them, they nurture you, you advise them. Uh, and I think that makes for a good relationship. And I didn't do that in my marriage. I didn't do it. And my ex wife darn shouldn't do it, or didn't do it, I should say. I'm trying not to cuss, but don't forget we online. We can't. Uh, she damn didn't do it. So we didn't respect one another. We didn't treat each other well. But we came out of it with three wonderful kids. I mean, truly amazing kids, very intelligent and beautiful kids. Matter of fact, that was one of the things I miss about not being married are my children. So even the benefits in a relationship grow over time in the form of children. I don't think I've ever met a woman who had a baby who didn't want to choke that child at some point or jump out the window themselves until they get used to the fact that this little person is their sweetheart. It's their bundle of joy. Even though it keeps them up every night, all night till all night the hour. But as they get older, their personality develops, and most women become great friends with their children, and so do men. Now that single guy, he has to love himself. I think most single men screw up because they don't care much for themselves. In my other practice, norm therapy, I come across abuse males all the time. Abused males. People don't think men are abused, but they quite often are. Mostly women emasculating them or hitting them because they know they can't get hit back. I don't think they're cowards for the most part, although some men are cowards and they let women beat on them. But it's because they know if they hit her, the consequence of that is dire. And so, but what I found with single guys is if they respect themselves, if they know how to have a good time, know how to laugh. I think if you're gonna be single, and you're gonna hang out with a bunch of women and have some fun in different places in the world, the one thing you have to have is a sense of humor. I think having a sense of humor is key. It's key to everything, to every relationship, because it breaks down all barriers. I think that's one of the ingredients that you lose in a marriage. Oftentimes, your humor, unless your wife or your husband, depending upon uh, if you're male or female, or whatever gender you call yourselves. But I think that a sense of humor should always be in the hip pocket of both partners. It's something you can pull out at any time and make each other laugh or remove the tension or relieve yourself of that anxiety. I think that's important. So I think when we go into a single relationship, because there are really no rules on being single, like I'm going out tonight, I'm going to this place, and I'll see somebody I know. And next thing you know, they're back here with me. You get it? So it's not like, unless that's your girlfriend, but then that's a relationship, and that's what we're talking about on the other side of the coin. But if you're going to be single and you're going to be out there, you're going to be doing it, you got to be careful, you got to be smart, you have to keep, other people's feelings in mind and respect for others. Most guys don't do that. I ain't gonna lie. When I was younger, I didn't care either. So let me just be clear. I did not care who I rolled over. I didn't care. I was a dog. Roof, roof. Then you realize one day as you get older, hey, that wasn't such a great idea. Although I lived through it, I had a great time. I was a dog.
But
Nowadays, it's much more dangerous. It's just much more
yeah,
dangerous.
but you've mentioned something, say that as you grow older, you realize certain things. But the question is, does it mean that men are ready to be married at a certain age, or you have to go through that to realize what is best for you? That's because
That's an excellent point, bro.
yeah, because looking at my personal situation, I look at things I've done over the years that would have changed, but I wonder, because I don't have any stats on that, if I can just generalize and say that all men have to go to that phase, to know what they want. Like initially, if you think, the first thing you look at a woman is attraction. See a woman, you like the way she
Yes.
looks. Then you look at different things, and over time it grows. But if what's only looks from the beginning, then over time things will change because sex gets old. The first time you meet a girl, you're like, wow, she's fine. But once you're with her, she's not as fine as the first time you saw her, and before you actually become intimate with her. So I just wonder. And another thing, also, taste change over time. I've looked at women who I thought were fine when I was young. I look at them and I was like, what is that? I'm like, what was wrong with me? So sometimes I just wonder, I would have gotten married to one of these women. Would I have been happy? What would have been the outcome? She would have got into me. I would have eventually get divorced. I just wonder. And also another thing, as you travel, you start to explore different part of the world. You look at different type of women, and your appreciation for women also change as well. Because so I just
Yes.
wonder all those factors. I mean, I think it's very complex. I mean, the thing about the relationship, and I think in order for one to be able to really assess and say, I want this and I want that, I think you have to go through all those different stages before deciding
Stages.
that's what I want. I think because me personally, I'm still. I mean, being married is beautiful, but it can put some strain on you. I mean, it's very stressful. I mean, sometimes just want to chill and relax. I mean, you just don't want to talk to anybody. Sometimes I just want to have a wife on demand.
Yeah.
Like you just, like accordingly today, I'm not stressed. Okay, I think. I mean, honestly, I think my wife should live in a house. I should live in mine. So so we date and we meet each other, and then
You
yeah,
know, I
come
I
to
think most men think this. I do.
uh, come to my place. What you doing? And then she go to her place. He go to I think the relationship gonna be more interesting. But when you live in the same roof, 24 hours, 7 days a week, personally, I get
It's
tired.
monotonous, and it becomes monotony.
Exactly, and
Not because
also
anything's wrong with her. It's just too much familiarity sucks. It
exactly,
just
and
sucks.
maybe it's me because sometimes I like to be just by myself sometimes, because I like to be able, because sometimes I think that because you have to worry about business, you have to worry about problems, and there's something I just want to be able. I feel like when it's just me, I have time to think things over, and I feel like I'm more productive. I have less distractions, and
Withdraw.
it goes along with the kids, because I feel like okay, when they, I feel like I mean, it's part of being a father. Okay, I agree. If I'm the husband, but sometimes I feel like I have such a busy life. Sometimes I think that I just want to be able to be with myself, be able to have my quality times for and my quality time to be able to really focus on what I get done. And I've realized that when it's just me by myself, I'm more productive than when I'm surrounded with all type of distractions. So I think maybe it's a personal issue because I know people who love being. I mean, not I. Is that I hate being
You
married or
know,
love being married? I think it's just a neutral position. I think it's just companionship is important, but unless your lifestyle and your husband or wife lifestyle is about the same, then it will be understandable. But she's busy, you busy, and then when you get together, it's the quality time. It's quality time. But when you have, let's say, a woman, she doesn't work, for instance, and you work, she's busy nagging you, like, what do you do? What do you do? So to me, I'm like, I don't think, you know, I'm not. I don't like conservative women where they just like stay at home mom because I think they're it's the nagging is just too much. I mean, because she
look at
has
your face,
nothing.
bro. Let the truth be told.
She has nothing. She has nothing to look for. Then you like, what time are you coming home? When you say, I'm like, I said, hold on, I'm busy. And then, sometimes you in the minute of something, then you get the text. What time are you coming home? It's like crap. Then mentally, it's like the momentum
Yeah,
is broken.
I do.
Like okay, well, you be, no, take your time. But that take your time is like she means it, but doesn't mean it. After like an hour, well, are you done
Exactly.
yet? I said, well, you asked me to take my time. I said, no, I just want to know if you were okay. You're like, damn. So so I
Bro,
don't know. So to me, it's very complicated being there. I mean, when because
well, women have this, they have a high degree of worry. Women
Yeah,
worry about everything. And I think whether you're single, dating somebody, she'll be worried about something. Whether you're married to them, they're gonna always be worried about something. There have been very few women in the world that I've met in my life that did not worry. You just got things done.
yeah,
Most women I know worry about every single thing 15 times over at the same time. And they want answers from you, but they don't really want your answers. You get it?
yeah, yeah.
They
That's
want you
true.
to listen to it, but they don't want you to help them or give them answers. And when you give them answers, they don't want to do it. And they're going to do what they want to do anyway. So now they just sit there and be quiet and listen. Just let them go with it because they're going to do what they want to do anyway, for the most part.
Yeah,
So that's been my experience. I used to try to control women by saying, no, we're not going to do this. Follow me and let's do this. And that. None of that's ever worked. None of it. Because you don't end up loving these people or feeling good about them. You feel like you're in a perfunctory relationship, just going by the motions and the steps until you don't want to be there any longer. It's a shame, but I think that that's what happened to me on a couple of few occasions in my life. And I remember around early 2000s, I had this beautiful young woman. She was amazing. And I remember I was about to close a big deal. And, uh, and I remember asking you, I was so cavalier about it too. I said, yeah, I think I'm going to get rid of her as soon as I get my loot and get the hell out of here and do something else. I remember saying that. That was a big mistake. That was a big mistake.
yeah, yeah,
She was
yeah,
awesome. Wasn't she awesome?
yeah.
She was awesome. Cool as shit. And And I didn't know. I just knew I was going to be a dog for a few years more. And she wasn't a part of that plan. I don't really want to mention her name online, but yeah, it was. I think about that often, and I did several women like that.
Talk
Several.
about you talk about in Le Chateau.
Yeah, Le Chateau. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did two or three of them there like that,
yeah.
and I never knew just how bad that was.
Well, that's
Until now.
that's a good thing, like for instance, my first marriage, when I first got married, I mean, she wanted to get married, and coming from a Christian background, and I was going to a Christian school and Christian university. I was going to a Seventh Adventist school at the time. I was in Loma Linda. Then I moved to
Hmm.
what is called a Columbia Union College, and it's called Columbia University. And then
Hmm.
Washington Adventist. I can't remember what they changed the name. But then, so I felt compelled to comply based on those beliefs. And when I look back, I was like, that was the wrong reasons. And then let me tell you a story because my first wife was actually my ex-girlfriend's cousin. So when I was in California, she heard about me, and they have like a family feud. So when she found out I was in Maryland, she said, "Well, let me get with this guy," and that's pretty much how we got together. And to me, at the time,
Got it.
I had a girlfriend that I thought I should have. When I look back, I should have married her because she was nice. But I went over this. I went to this one that I married to, and then they married us about a year and a half. And then actually, I remember I was married from March '95 to November '96. Then couldn't
Wow.
do it. Couldn't do it.
They
Couldn't do it. We reached a point
say
where,
hell no.
yeah, for multiple reasons. I mean, at the time, I was young, first of all, and then
Hmm.
she loves to eat. So I used to see her. I mean, when I met her, she was, let's say, maybe 140, 142 pounds. But 3 months in the marriage, she was like 180. And, at one time, we were in the same clothes. When you better have wearing the same type of, I mean, the same size pants, and then she became bigger. I'm like, there's a problem here, you know. Then
Yeah.
visually, I wasn't attracted to her anymore. And then that pretty much I then started dating this girl from Argentina who had my office in Washington, D.C. At the time I was
Hmm.
doing gold trading, and I also had a rental car company. And then I met this girl. She was working for Allstate Insurance, Argentinian girl, all sexy, small waist, and start dating. But at the time, what I didn't like about her, she had a child. She had a 60 months baby, and with my belief,
Oh.
I don't have any kids, and I want to tell my mom. And as a matter of fact, my ex-wife found out I was dating this girl while we were married during the end, and she called my parents. Told, you know what? Can you believe he's dating this girl with a child? In the Christian world, it means a
Oh,
lot at the time.
yeah, blasphemous.
Yeah, and that
it's a
was
heresy. He's a heretic.
exactly. And at the time, I was brainwashed. You know what I mean? To believe that. So
Yeah.
I felt like, okay, well, and I didn't stay with her, broke up with her because So when I look back, then travel at the time, I went to Paris, I went to Belgium. Then I remember then when I went to Belgium, hook up with my ex-girlfriend from the Congo, and then I also had a girlfriend in the United States, and start dating. Start kind of got back to the ex-girlfriend from the Congo. I thought she looked good, but
Routine.
when I saw, her, I was like, nah, that just that just high school love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then, but I was with a friend of mine. He was dating my ex-girlfriend from the Congo's friend. So I decided, okay, let's switch from Belgium. Let's go to Paris. So because my girlfriend from the United States was coming over to see me, I'm
Hmm.
like, so we switch hotel. I'm like, okay, perfect. One day, so my Mark's girlfriend at the time text my girlfriend from the Congo, say, well, we're here in this place, so from Belgium to Paris is like, I think, an hour and a half or 2 hours
Oh
car
yeah.
ride.
Real close.
Housekeeping is cleaning the hotel room. I'm laying there in the bed. Who I see at the door? My girlfriend from the Congo, and I'm sitting in the bed with my girlfriend from the United States, bro. That was the weirdest scenario. And then, but guess what? One spoke English, one
How did you
spoke
handle
French.
it?
Well, they didn't speak the same language.
Ah, okay. So you were good. So you were good.
So what I
You were
did,
good. I've been there too.
I left. I just left. I left them there. At the time, it was no Google Translator,
Choice.
none of that time. So I just let them, handle the thing.
Yeah.
They could not understand each other. Someone got frustrated, she left, and and that's how things kind of died down. And I kept on with my girl
Girl
from
in
the US.
U.S.
When I look back, things that, of course, I was what that was in 97, around 97. I was like 24, so it didn't really matter at the time. So I wasn't
Hmm.
really taking it seriously. But when I look back, the hurt I've done to her was like, because we still talk, but she's still bitter about that, and then Congo's a small, it's a very small place. So the word spread around that, that I did this, and it got back to my parents' ears, and it was a big mess. But at the time, I was like, I don't care what you guys think. I'm gonna do me. That was pretty much my attitude. And then after that, okay, we went, came back to the US, then broke up, then start dating my my oldest daughter's mom, whom I met in rehabilitation. I was in a car accident, so we're going to do the same physical therapy. So the physical therapist put us together, and that's how the relationship got started. So she came to me
Oh,
and start exactly. So me personally, the women I'm married to, they're the one who did the first step, and then like, they want to get married. I said, okay, why not? Let's go with it, because to me, I looked at marriage like just like a paper. Like I said, well, if it doesn't work, we just exchange. That's what I was looking at it. To me, it was just a girlfriend with a dog side.
transactional.
To me, this
Yeah,
is a transaction. To me, the big deal doesn't work. I'm out. So
exactly.
I never took the marriage institution as serious back then. And that's pretty much. And I went on and on. Then the rest, what happened, and then after that, we
Yeah, I
broke
know.
up
I,
and
I
this
met
and
her. I
that.
met her.
Yeah,
She could
exactly.
cook though.
So
She could cook. Oh my
yeah.
God, could she cook?
So when I look back, and I, I look back and look at all those different experiences, and made me realize that what it takes to build a real, a good relationship is not easy, because there's
Yeah.
it's multifaceted. There's so many aspects to it. Of course, the look is one, But you have to make sure also that intellectually you guys are in the same level. You know,
Yes,
exactly
yes, yes,
at the same level, and it's
absolutely.
and there's another thing. Culturally, it's also important. It depends on how you looked at it. It depends on your background. Say those are the things that you have to be able to deal with and make it work. But also, lots of people get married for the wrong reason because it's pressure. Because it's pretty much what we're taught. That you get finish high school, finish college. After college, you get a job and you get
Guilt
married.
ourselves. We guilt
So it was
ourselves into it.
exactly that you think you have to follow that specific order, which was my case back then.
Yeah,
So I did lots of things to comply or to please or to abide by family values and mores and so forth. When I look back, so all things were the wrong reason. So if I were to do it again now, what would I do? I mean, I would think things differently. I will date long enough to make sure that we are compatible,
absolutely.
and then eventually build into that. Because usually, because I mean, the first thing you look at, damn, look at this girl, she looks good. Let me talk to her. Initially, we don't think about the background, we don't care, we just want to, and then lots of time, you end up being with the
Exactly.
wrong person. And until now, I mean, sometimes you look up and say, damn, now I look back, I'm like, analyze it, the way she acts, the way she eats, the way she does certain things, and I'm like, nah, I don't want that. I don't want that. This thing just won't last. And so now I know exactly what I'm looking into a woman like my actual wife. I don't really have any complaint about her. The problem always been me. I mean, she's a good woman, she's a good wife, she's a good mother.
Oh yeah,
She's
she's an
well,
amazing lady.
she's well groomed. She has a very good education level. So so then I realized the problem is me, that I have to take off some personal thing, because it's like some people say that I have some unfinished business from a past relationship. Could be that keep on carrying over and over and over and over. I have no clue because I guess I never looked at it like this. I'm like, you know what? I just jump in. So I think because I was going from one relationship to another one, to another one, to another one. It was just a transition. It was transitional. Like,
It's very
it was like, okay,
cyclical.
I break up with you for the next one, I start a relationship with you. And then, it was never, it was like, I was literally moving with them. That's how it was. I break up with them,
Just
because
flowing, going through the flow.
then I realized that the problem was, I was really stemming from surfing from was, I guess, loneliness. I didn't want to be alone. So I felt like I have to be accompanied by someone the whole time. But it was for the wrong reason. It was just mainly for to have someone to just be next to you and whatever. And that's pretty much So when I look back, I was like,
Companionship.
it's just companionship, and that was it. And then nothing was. I never look at long term. I want to build this with her. I want to do. I was just living for the moment. I think those are the things
You have
that
to find your own groove, though, bro. What you have to do is find your own groove, and maybe it isn't that you're repeating a pattern. Maybe it isn't even like you left something behind and you reliving it. Sometimes we just have to keep going forward till we find our groove. Once you find your, because not everybody is compatible or congruent with one another, and I think that
yeah,
that's the most. I think most men look for where they can be most comfortable. Women look for where they can be most secure. And I think that we're looking for two different things, but we're trying to extract and exact something out of the other person that we don't always get. I think you did it the right way. I know if guys could do what you do, or what I've done, if they could do it, they'd be doing it. They would be doing it because that experience is invaluable. Going from chick to chick, partying all over the world, doing basically whatever you want to do and having a ball. And instead of you choosing them, they'll choose you. This happens often around the world.
yeah. And
But I
now,
think it's more finding a groove than chasing something that you may have missed in something else. I don't think it's an efficient thing. I think it's more of an efficient thing. I
yeah,
really do.
now that been married for 20 years, and the reason I stayed married because she put lots of effort into it.
Yeah, but
Because
putting up with you had to be hard work.
when I look back, I'm like, wow, seriously, because and I look at things that I've done, I'm like, it's just like I wouldn't do it again because I think it's just hurtful. I mean, I look at things that different. Maybe I was immature back then. Maybe now I'm maturing, late, but I guess finally got there at at early 50. Late 40, that's when I realized that start taking things seriously. Like, people were just like, okay, well, and also it was based on access. When you have access to women from all kind, they come after you, and this and that, then you become like, okay, you know what? No big deal. I can get this one. You lose one, you get another one. So you are just like, without looking exactly, even when you
Exactly.
set those vows, for better or for worse. Yeah, I'm just repeating them. I don't care. To me, just a ritual. I'm not really. I'm like, let me just, you repeat it, for
Going
better
with the
for worse,
flow.
sick and health. I go with the flow, and it always be my
Most
attitude. And
guys,
I think
bro.
like a very nonchalant type of
No, I was
attitude.
just
Like,
gonna say
well, you go ahead.
exactly. No, no, but most guys, they look and look and look until they find that woman, and then they stop everything they're doing and they focus on that, and then they realize after they've focused so much over it that they've made a mistake.
Yeah,
That,
because
you know, exactly.
people say, yeah,
You don't
to
do
me,
that. I don't do that.
yeah. People say that, well, you like, I'll say, hold on. First of all, I say, your main focus is how the woman looks. Because me, I'm never been to colors. It doesn't matter. If the girl looks good, she fits my requirement. I mean, and there's a personal taste. Because I've always said, I want, I want a woman just to be with somebody because, it's hard to wake up every morning to someone you don't like physically. That's
It's
tough.
a drudgery,
So those will do that
bro.
more
It's like
power to
waking
them.
up
But
next
me, I
to the
can't do it. I
devil.
want to be myself. You just have a companion because she's nice. I'm like I said, no. You have to look a certain way. You have to have and that's why people say, well, I'm very superficial. Well, let me be superficial then, because to me, I'm the one. I know what I like. I know what I like. And when I get up, one look at it, I think, damn, what happened here? Like you just have like to convince yourself to like yeah, like I remember when you remember when we met those Russian girl in the remember back then in Atlanta.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Russian.
Morning
Oh
time
man,
when
that
she
was a
took her
long time ago.
eyelashes out, she took everything out. I was like, damn,
What happened?
it's not
What happened?
it's not what I was, So, but like what it was just for a short span. I'm like, imagine you have to be like this for the rest of That's why me I have an issue. People say, well, I have an issue with women who wear wigs,
I don't like
excessive
anything
makeup, because
fake.
I'm like, that is
I don't
not you.
like.
Because I remember in one instance at nighttime her name is Janet. In the morning, his name is Jean, literally. You're like, dang, she would take the wig off, gold is bald, then take the eyelashes off, then she remove the makeup, she all got blood, blood, skin, and this and that. I'm like, I say, wow, So people say, no, I say, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
because I know what I like. The same thing with
People
food.
people would
I like
consider
my food
people would
cooked a
consider.
certain way. The same thing I wanna, because I'm like, everything about choices, and
I
that to
think
me, I'm
men have
like, I
lost the
would go with
right
what
to
I
have a
like,
choice.
and if it doesn't work, first, I say, if I have to stop the religion because it doesn't fit my needs, I'm sure I have to do it because to me, I always say life is too short to wake up with someone that you don't like, to be miserable the rest of your life, because it's
Every
not.
day.
And
I
also, but
think
see, what do you do
men
with the
give their
yeah?
choice away, bro. Say again?
You want to be,
Be
you
careful.
want to have a companion with you. I say that's true. I've said, what, I want to make sure that I have enough money that if I can get companionship, I can hire them, because once you reach a certain age, I'm like, listen, I'm not looking for love anymore. I'm looking for companionship at this level. And
There
I'll be
you go.
surrounded by beautiful nurses that because I can afford to take care of me and feel love. To me, that's a feast because my children ain't going nowhere. I've got my children, so that's always been my philosophy. I always say, people worry about the last day. I say, well, because you broke, you worry about because you can't afford to do these things. I don't to me because I'm like I want to make sure that I have enough means to afford if I'm by myself. I just hire a service that will make me feel good. You know, if I'm in my
Exactly.
bed, walking at least, get up and dance, do a dance, I'm observing you, at least to entertain myself, be my philosophy because I'm like, I want to be with someone because just because I don't want to be by myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I
Well,
like,
you have social
you know,
dynamics that goes on
I like
with you.
to
You have
look
a
at
great
it's like,
deal of social
I like
dynamics.
I mean, I'm very visual, so, it's very unfortunate, So people say, yeah,
Can you hear me?
so That's how I operate. Been like
Can you
this
hear me?
all pretty much all my life. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. I'm just wondering if you can hear me at
Can you hear
all.
me?
Now I can.
Uh,
Yeah, I can.
oh, that's
Great.
weird. Yeah, I think maybe the
We're
the
good. We're good.
internet. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Uh,
yeah.
okay. But you have a lot of social flexibility in your life. I mean, you're the kind of guy that whether you're with your wife or you're with a friend or you're with whomever, you're the same guy. And that most men can't do that. They can't go from role to role and be the same guy. How do you do it?
Well, I guess it just. I mean, I, I don't think I don't think I'm gonna say I'm just lineal, but I think when it comes to my train of thought, I'm just gonna be me. I don't think I have to adapt myself to. I want the person I'm with to accept the way I am. Either you like it or you don't. You know. Because me, I will adapt myself to you. I will not change. I will adapt
At
myself.
all?
I will adapt myself. Meet you halfway. But certain things, I just won't change. Certain things I'm just like, that's how I am. That's how I'm operate. So me, is what it is. You know, if you find out, I say, okay, I will never throw in your face I'm doing something. But if you find out, like, my philosophy, people say it's wrong. I say, well, my phone is my phone. You have no business looking through my phone. If you do, if you find, well, that's your thing. I didn't, don't start lurking around, because also you need to look at, because I've been accused of things that I haven't done.
Exactly.
I've been accused of, I've been, I've been accused of being with women I've never been with, for instance, like, because they were convinced that this is what it is, but which is not true. So, sometimes, like I say, well, and to me, I've never tried to justify myself, because I go, if you believe that's what it is, that's what it is. Because if it is not true, you won't believe me anyway. So run with it. You know, I don't see why I should demonstrate something that it isn't. And that's always been my nature. So I say,
It
this
took me
is
many years to learn that. I mean, because I spent a lot of time in the military, so I was doing that hub 2, 3, 4 rigid stuff, in personality and culture and everything. But I'm that guy today. If you think I'm doing something, knock yourself out. If you not, if you try to look at
and
my phone or see who I am, knock yourself
exactly.
out.
And
I
something I've
care less.
learned now also from all those years of, I'm like, I know when to cut the relationship, not to keep entertaining that nonsense. Before I was entertaining it for a long time. Now I'm like, you know what? It does not, just cut it short. Instead of keep entertaining
I
that nonsense. I used to entertain lots of nonsense, like, hey, well, this and that, okay, perfect. I'm like, no, 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 not. I don't do it anymore. I'm too old for that. I'm like, okay, well,
I will never tolerate that again another moment in my life. And I think that's where
no,
most
because I have,
relationships fail because men tolerate that.
yeah,
Men tolerate that, at least from my perspective. And I think women take a lot of crap from men. I'm not trying to excuse men, but for the most part, when men become somebody else to be with a woman, they're no longer a man. I heard a quote a long time ago, and I've heard a few people try to repeat it, and that is a man who becomes a beast doesn't have to worry about the pains of being a man. And that's it. You have to be a beast in order to avoid those pains and avoid those pitfalls in life. I'm
yeah,
telling you, bro, I
yeah,
think you're doing it the right way. I think it's more of an advantage to know who you are and be okay with yourself over her being okay with you. I
exactly.
think guys look more for that than they look for being okay with themselves. And I think that's why most relationships fail because
Yeah.
people are not okay with themselves. Pretty
And
bad.
I have lots of friends and they date with, I mean, they date younger women, I mean, much younger than them, 20, 25, 26, 27 years, or, and I tell them, I say,
I'm one of those guys. Yeah, I've done
I know, but
that.
I know, but to me, I've always, I say, hold on, I'm 50 now. If I did a 25-year-old, she doesn't love me. I'm a sugar daddy. Let's be honest with it.
Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
don't get yourself involved into that, because she's playing a role. She's an actress, you know.
Exactly.
Because let's face it, I mean, 25, she has access to all those 27, 28, 29, 30 years. She's going to be with you all us. I mean, of course, it's for what you can actually provide and bring, and then, you have to get it. Yeah, but I'm like, I said, well, at my age, I don't, I have, I've had enough love, I get love for my children. I get love, so I don't need someone to feel that void. So if I'm with someone, I say, well, if you think she's using me, she's not. I'm letting you. I'm letting you do that. Don't think you are because what if I'm doing because I have allowed you to do so. Don't think that I got it. No, no, you didn't get it. I will allow myself to do so. So don't get it twisted.
Exactly.
Exactly. But of course, this comes with experience because I know when I was 25, I did go from 22, 21.
Because you know what you're getting out of that relationship. You know what you're getting. You know what you want out of
Exactly.
it. And
I know what I want from her. She know what she wants from me. And I want this. I want that. I'm like, so and then
most men don't
so
know how to handle that, bro. Most men cannot handle that. Like, oh, is she getting out of me this and I'm getting out of her? So what is she doing with her spare time? Most men don't understand that. That in her spare time, you ain't it. You ain't it. And
yep,
just let it go. Keep on walking and let that go. Most men can't do that. And a lot of women can't have the thought of her man who takes care of her being with anyone else while she's out creeping. This is the phenomena in our society of today that we need to grapple with. That's
yeah,
why we were talking about what subject to talk about. It came to mind. We've been we've been across the entire spectrum, from one end of the world to the other, dealing with these kinds of issues in different kind of women, from the United States to Asia, to Central South America, you name it, we've
yep,
been there. Europe, Africa,
yeah.
and
And you're right. And we never had any issues. And then I mean, multiple. I mean, we picked the wrong one on multiple occasions, but we knew it was just ephemeral. It was just temporary. It was just for the time being. So to me, I never.
exactly, very ephemeral.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
you
me,
see, and that's what most guys can't understand. It took me a while to understand. Being in the military, it disciplines you sometimes to principles that are not applicable to you, just like church or religion. Sometimes those principles aren't for you in your life. Some of them may be from an honorable or teaching purpose, but for how to rigidly structure your life to deal with people, it is not. And I think they're not conducive of relationships today. I think we've taken the humanity out of a lot of relationships. And I think that it makes people settle. And I see it all the time. And the people who are most complaining about guys like you and me and some people I see on the internet, the biggest complaint they have is that who do they think they are? There's a certain kind of woman, and I don't even want to say, but there's a certain kind of woman that as soon as she sees me, and she's the same type all over the world, she hates my guts. Because immediately, I mean, like I can go sometime a year without dating because I'm into me and trying to get me together and work on a project or something. I can go without dating for a long time these days. Early on in life, impossible. But she just believes automatically I'm dating 15 women. Just automatically believes it.
yeah, yeah. Because
And
as you, like you say, as you get older, then I mean, you have less time for nonsense. And you know exactly what you want, so you can
yeah,
easily isolate yourself and work on yourself without any issues. Because I mean, sex. I had it. I had. I think
what
I
besides
have
that?
enough. I have enough reserve of sex in my. I got to worry about the next piece of. I don't need that. I have it. It's, so I'm more choosy now. I'm like,
The
is
reserve.
that? Yeah, I mean, come on now. I've done so much, and then because so when I look back, I'm like, now I'm looking more at quality more than anything else. I'm like, if I look at someone, I'm like, so well,
Exactly.
yeah, that she meet this requirement.
Quality.
How would I feel about her? 2, 3 years from now? I mean, if she's, and I looked at it, and then when I look at my wife, I'm like, well, she has all those quality. She's because I like to take care of myself. She take care of herself. Like especially this weight gain thing. We will have to justify, yeah, because I'm getting older. I weigh 200 pounds. I'm sorry.
No, that's
I
not even
just
normal.
I just can't deal with it. I'm like, so take care of yourself because I'm gonna leave you because I just can't, you know, doesn't make sense. Take care of yourself. The gym is there. There's multiple diet options. You can go after. Love yourself because I don't let myself go like this. I always make sure that So if you reach that
Yeah.
level, why should I? People say, yeah, but you think you all that? I'm not all that. I just know what I want, and luckily, my child, I
You've
never
been
had any
able to
issue.
get it. You've been able to get it in
And I
abundance.
will do it again. So I don't worry about how I look because it never been an impediment. So I'm like, so I don't know because wherever I've been, it doesn't matter worldwide, literally in all five continents. I'd except Australia, the place I haven't been yet. Africa, Asia, Europe, South, North America, South America, North America. Africa. I'm like, that's all done. So I have the point to explore. And then I don't regret. People say, "Well," I said, "No, you were a whore." I'm like, "No, I wasn't. I was just." You say an explorer or explorator? Yeah, it's explorator. Which one is it? Someone explore like a navigator. That's how I looked at it. Now, you're breaking up, buddy. Say that again. I can hear you.
You're mixing Spanish and French and English because it's explorador in Spanish and
It's you see,
in English
it's explorer,
explorer.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why
yeah,
I'm
explorer.
explorator. I was like this time there. So or navigator. So I was just going over. That's what I looked at. I said, no, I was just, because I always tell myself, life it's all about experiences, good and bad, it's just experience. That's why I look at it. I have, I don't complain. The person I am right now, it's based on my past experience. And then so you're breaking up, buddy. Well, no, it just me. Looks like I got some technical difficulties. Yeah, so let's see. Let's wait for him to come back, and so we can continue. Hopefully, he comes back. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So pretty much discussing, marriage versus single life. The need and the truth, and the do's and the don't, and the experience. Yes. So let me see if he's gonna. 1 second here. Yeah, yeah. 1 second, guys. I'm waiting for Michael to be back on line. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who's watching. But, yeah, so the discussion was about personal experience when it comes to marriage life. Might be married and divorced. Married, divorced, remarried. So we get all. I don't think there's a specific answer when it comes to. Yeah, it's about 1 second. Yeah, see
Hey,
that
bro.
you have some technical difficulties. Yeah,
Yeah, I did. Sometimes, I'm here in Dubai right now, so that's probably a reason. Sometimes you get the best internet in the world, and at peak you get nothing. So where were we? Can you hear me okay now?
yeah, I can hear you. Okay, no, we're saying that we're not talking about past experience in general. Like so when you got about saying that there's not such a good or bad answer when it comes to a marriage versus single life. You know, like
Yeah, but
person
now
that.
divorce life has taught me a lot though. Divorce life is a whole nother life than single because you have memory. It's like that memory fabric where it remembers where you sat, or remembers your contour, you know. Uh Divorce life is not a bad life. It really isn't. If you didn't get out of marriage what you expected, sometimes divorce can be lonely, but there's a difference, I think, between loneliness and solitude. I think that you can have independence and solitude because it's a choice you're making. But and once you make that choice to be by yourself and get into yourself and do great things for yourself, build something, it's very fulfilling because you have the experience of having been married. Not that that's the only ingredient, but you have that experience of knowing who fits and who doesn't, who
But the
fits in what you're going to do next.
but
You get it?
the question is it sustainable? That loneliness. How long can you go with it? I mean, I think there's eventually a breaking point where you say, you know what? Because I mean, when I travel sometime, by myself, I'm like, sometimes like, wow, at nighttime you get bored. I wish I had someone next to me, what? So I'm just so it's very complex about what I think about it. Something you just want to cuddle just by yourself, like with the cold bed. I don't know. Is it
But also, don't you need a witness? Isn't it kind of cool to have somebody because they can witness your life with you, and they can just
exactly?
they can help not validate you, but tell your story with you or be a part of your story. That's an amazingly good feeling that only I think your significant other can bring to you. Your woman can only your woman can bring that to you,
Yeah,
or your children in certain aspects. But yeah, I agree with you there, bro. I mean,
yeah,
you just get lonely sometimes.
because I have a friend. Um, you know him. In the DR. He's since he got divorced, so his I don't know if they were actually married, but since they got separated, the guys hasn't been the same ever since. And
Wow.
he's been going after whatever he can find and whatever he can sweep. He be dating some hood right. I mean hood rights, like literally, like I was talking to him on the phone while I was saying, he said, you know what, I don't want to be myself. I just at least they did entertain me. I'm like, wow, but this is bad entertainment.
Yeah. Some
So
people lose their identity when they lose their relationships.
and it's very sad because
That
that guy lost his identity totally, and then I even think that he has gone through a long-term depression. He doesn't realize it, but he's actually just thinking that is just not normal. I mean, I don't want to give too many details on the thing because
I know
that
exactly
that's
who.
why. Yeah, but he's dealing with people he shouldn't be dealing with, and then
A
I'm like,
lot of low life.
whoa, low life and low. You know what I mean? Also, let me. I want to put it on the not even on the private chat because I don't want to. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I understand, bro. I listen. I'm with you 1,000% on that one. Some people, when men lose their identity,
read it.
it's really a horrible sight.
I put it from my other
Oh
phone.
yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it. I see. Yeah,
And to me, I was like, this is crazy. I mean, you have like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm like, what's wrong with your. And
mentality.
he was trying to rationalize it. Like, I said, no, it doesn't mean it. I'm like, I said, hold on. To me, first of all, there's a line you know, between what they say, just I think just went overboard. And I'm like, and I just can't entertain that nonsense because it doesn't matter if but at that level, the guy I mean, you look at him, he's totally lost. And I'm like, well, he's totally lost his identity. And it's very sad to see. I
I'm
mean,
sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. Yeah,
ma-
I remember the guy. I remember him. I'm
and
sad to hear that.
because at one time the guy had access to whatever, now it's like he's older, and then he has also, he suffered from he's diabetic, so he lost one of his toe, he lost his pinky. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So yeah, exactly. So he has a lot, so he went into that. It's very sad, and then but this guy was, so when I looked at the guy, I'm like, damn, I don't want to end up like this because it was the master dog, it was like he was that guy was a pit bull, was just like and
Went after everything.
there's a Chihuahua.
Damn.
He went from a pit bull to a Chihuahua, bro. Now he's begging for attention. Well, before sometimes what I'm like, nah, you know, you know, you kind of think it makes you think. I'm like, something you have to appreciate what you got, because you don't know because of course, I mean, I believe once you see that's when you realize that you had that good woman that was there for you no matter what, you just didn't appreciate her, and now look at you, you can't do this anymore. So you get something when I look at the guy, I'm like, let me take this as a life lesson or maybe as a warning
Oh yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
you never know what's gonna be tomorrow, and then because well, I mean, the day you seek, those who that won't be there, those gold digger won't be beside you.
No kidding. Those hood rats will not
They
even care
won't
if you die.
be. They won't care because now you're not productive anymore. You don't drink the champagne anymore. You don't drink the Louis 13 anymore. You don't drink those Blue Label anymore. So you just wonder, like maybe
Yeah.
because yeah,
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. People have expectancies of other people that they want them to follow a certain pattern, and when they don't, their lives lose value. And I think men get wrapped up in their image more often than women do, even though the facade that women carry from makeup to high heels and all of those things. I think the comedians say the best. That's not you. You're not that tall. That's not your real face. That's not your real hair. You know, those are facades that women create in order to enhance their beauty. But when men lose their identity, they create crumbling facades, very weak relationships with their own power, and they become something of a shell of themselves. I've seen it happen too often. Oftentimes, they wrap their entire identity around the woman they're with. And
yeah,
when they lose that, they lose themselves. And I think that's a huge problem for men. Now, how do men become that weak, bro? Because I
I don't
remember
know.
growing up, it wasn't that way. Men were strong. Women, you know, spoke to them differently. They look at it like, hey, I'm the wrong guy. And that was the end of that conversation. But not to say that it was always the case, but respect was more a part of the vernacular of the conversation than anything else. And taking away a man's dignity or his respect, I think it's become commonplace and normalized. So men now expect that they need to wrap their strength up in their relationship. And when they lose that relationship, they also lose their power. They lose their strength. They
Exactly.
lose their identity. They end up hurting more people by becoming that entity that has no real force of life or nature in them anymore. It's a shell of themselves, as I said
But
earlier.
talk about this guy. This guy had an incident that I've heard. He brought one of those hood rat in his place, right?
Hmm.
Then what he does when he leaves, he literally locked the door with those DR place got those lock, like those padlock,
Gated out, yeah.
exactly. So he leaves, and he leave them in the house, and he take the key with him, right? And he goes away and do his things, and he comes back, open the door. And one other hood rat was able to unlock it with the pin. Imagine the level of, and she took
Expertise.
and she took his piece,
Oh,
and his cell phone. And okay, and now he was talking. I said, well, why don't you call the police and make a police report? Guess what? He can do it. You know why?
the note you just sent me.
So
That's kidnapping, bro. That's kidnapping.
I say, hold on. And again, I mean, you talk to him and you to rationalizes it. And I'm like, this guy needs some serious evaluation because he is lost. I mean, when I'm in the lost cause, I'm like, wow, how did you reach that level of, it's
Degradation.
I mean, it's literally sad to see. Sad to see. I was like, this is very sad. I never thought that the guy that had a streak of, I mean, in his level, it was nice for him. To me, they were never good, but they were like
His style. It was his
his
style.
style,
Now it's
you
even
know,
lower than that. Oh my God.
exactly. I mean, no, nice, not even, you can't even compare.
Wow, really?
Literally, it did.
Now I am sad to hear that. I really
Yeah, it's
am.
very sad to hear that. I was like, wow, this is very, and then what do you do with, and I think it's some type of mental issue because it doesn't make sense for you to for someone to entertain
It
that
doesn't.
type of
It
nonsense.
doesn't
I'm
make
like,
sense.
okay, you know what? Let me take care of my family, let me take care of what I have, and then focus on that and forget about the rest.
So let me ask you a question. The divorced men that are around you, that you
Yeah.
see in the world, are they really living?
No,
Tell me about it.
because if you divorce and no, it depends. It depends because I know a guy who's divorced and has a girlfriend now, and they are happy. And but then in my case, I also know. No. The majority of divorced men I know, they got themselves involved into another relationship, so they were able to deal with
Pull
the
themselves
transition.
out.
Yeah, but the period where they were just by themselves, you can literally say that something is missing because
You
there's
saw
something
the
like,
decline. Did you see the
yeah,
decline?
you
Yeah.
can see the decline because somehow I think women are important to keep us together. To keep us whole. I would say, you know, because it's good to have a companion. It's something the argue, the nagging is there. The arguing, always gonna have to. It's always gonna have some type of disagreement. That's part of a relationship, but it's just the key thing how you deal with it, how you cope with it. I've learned how to
How you
deal with that.
respond to it. Yeah. Yeah.
I've learned how to, like if it's too much arguing, I would just hang the phone up with that because
That's me too.
I don't want to
I
say the
hang up.
wrong thing anymore. So just hang the phone up and I talk to you later, because I don't want to be say the same thing because sometimes, because women think differently than us. It's a fact. When I'm stressed, I have to deal with this nonsense, I have to deal with this. Then you're asking me about, should I get the pink purse or a blue purse? I'm like, I said, hold on, I'm more about how to cut this deal. You're asking me for a purse or pink. I'm like, I said, really, is that important? You know, but it's not their fault. Sometimes I have
I
to
know.
now I know it's nice. Get this one. I've learned a lot how to think
Balance.
twice before I say something. When I was younger, it was just like tick tack, tick tack. I'm like, I said, hold on, this not So now, like,
It's not
okay,
sustainable. That's not sustainable. You're right.
no,
That's
no,
not sustainable. So I think
because
divorced men. I'm sorry. I was just going to
no,
quickly add to
continue,
that. I
continue.
think divorce. I think divorced men can find themselves on that downslope, but there's always a way for divorced men to pick themselves back up. And once they start to realize why they got divorced in the first place, I think that's when divorced men come out of their slump and they end up being a better man to their girlfriend or their future wife or whomever that is, because they realize why they got divorced in the first place. And it isn't always because, you know, we fell out of love or anything. They could be loving each other to death and still hate each other at the same time, you know. But are you there? Or are you frozen? You look frozen.
I'm frozen. Let me fix it. It's okay now.
Yeah. Okay. There you
Okay,
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
So
just saying that
yeah,
that's what happened. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, it's because I'm looking at there's this guy. He's very famous on YouTube. His name is Hassan Holloman. He's a young guy traveling. He made the headline. He became very popular when he went to Brazil and tell people like, what, women here in Brazil are easy and this and that to get, but it was misinterpreted. He was trying to say they're more accessible, but then a feminist woman took it up and made a big deal out of it, and the guy ended up on CNN, and that's how he
Oh,
blew up. Now he's traveling. He was in Brazil. It was in Manaus. Now he's in Turkey, and he was talking. And I've watched him. He was talking about the Turkish dating scene, and his name is Hassan Alaman. He was talking about the Turkish dating scene. He said that he's there with another guy, James, which also in Turkey, and they were telling how hard it is to date in Turkey. I said, indeed, it's hard to date in Turkey. is one of because it's a very conservative society.
It
Unless
really
you
is.
go to if you go to Afro Istanbul, which is a nightclub, but then the quality of women there are what? Remember we went there with Troy, remember?
Yeah, we're like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah, they had all those brothers and all those weave hanging out place, and like the eyelashes, they were just nuts. It is a real because the prettiest Turkish women are already married. They are taken
Oh, yeah,
or
scarfed up.
they have someone's waiting for them. So you can only cater to the tourist. I mean, it's from the Russian chick, Ukrainian or European, and they are in Istanbul. They're in Taksim, and Taksim got a raggedy club.
Syrian. Yeah, I know it. A lot of
You know,
Syrian chicks there in Turkey as well.
yeah, yeah, you
Yeah,
can, yeah, but here's the thing.
yeah.
The big thing is the
Taksim
language,
stuff.
the language barrier.
Teşekkür ederiz.
Teşekkür ederim, chickish, and all
Yeah.
those different things, yeah, merhaba, you have to know all those.
Merhaba,
So there's a
merhaba.
language barrier. So and also, they're really American. They have that American look, with the Puma shirt, the Nike one, and this and that, and like
Exactly.
yesterday, they couldn't get
Very
into
common.
it was live. You couldn't get into any clubs at all.
They won't let them in.
A
They
club we
won't
went
let
to, they
them
say,
in.
well, they say it was only for couples. Here's the thing, like there's a language barrier, like the bouncer tried to tell them, I mean, what should they say? Some days no sticker allowed, no shorts allowed. It depends how, and you have to know the thing, and if they see
Yeah.
you won't be a spender, they won't let you in. If they say budget, that's how Turkey because those Turkish bouncer and clubs, those are some
You
hustlers,
got to
bro.
pay.
Let me tell you a story. I'm in Istanbul walking. I meet this. I see two guys. I say, hey, where you from? We started talking. He said, well, yeah, we're looking for a place to get some beer. I say, oh, okay. I say, meet you a place. I say, let me take you to a place. Let's find. And he has his phone up, right, looking like he's looking for a place in the GPS. I'm like, great. I said, let's go get some beer. I said, I'll go there to the place. And those guys, they said they were from Cyprus. They were tourists like me, and so they see me. I said, well, I teamed up with them. So I go to a place. Okay, perfect. And then we get him sat down. The guy said, well, I said, then we got some beer. No, he said, no, you know what? I want some whiskey. Okay, we ordered, but he said, let me get some Jack Daniel. It's there's no Jack Daniel. So so they got some cheap whiskey. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Then a girl came, sat next to me. Another came, sat next to him. It was two of them. So then there's three girls. The waiter asked the girls, what would you like to drink? They say champagne. Bro,
Yeah. We know what happened
the,
next.
the waiter brought 3 bottles of champagne. I'm like, since when you do that? A bunch for each of them. You should bring 1 bottle, you, you, you fill in the flutes, you give it to one, and then okay, bro. They were drinking the champagne like it was water. Then boom, 3 more. Then I'm like, okay, that was number of champagne. Okay, okay. I look at the champagne, I look, so a non brand, some a non brand. I'm like, this can be expensive, so no big deal. But I said, you know what? Let me get the bill. The guy said, but we're gonna split it. And he's telling his friend, oh, I got you, I'm paying for it. When the bill came, bro, it was $1,000, right? Or 1,200. Okay, so 1,000 because pay. So we have to split it. It's 400 each. And so he pulled out 800 euros. He paid for him and his friend. Okay, now I'm obliged to pay because I said I didn't invite those girls. He said, well, we paid. So we got the bill until we drink. I'm like, okay, perfect. Do you take cards? They say no. Damn, because they say it was during COVID. They say, well, this time, we cannot, like it's after hour, if the machine they give some, if we pass the card through the
Whatever.
through
Yeah.
the
I know
very
how it
phone
is.
to the machine, yeah, so let's go to the ATM machine. I said, I'm not going to the ATM machine. I said, okay, perfect. So they said there's a guy that's a referee, we're gonna go there. So they take me to an alley, bro. And the guy from like one of those motel, the guy come downstairs with
Machine.
with machine, swipe it for it. I'm like, damn. Then I got scared. I'm like, this could be they claiming my card. So I called my car. I said, I'm gonna declare my card stolen because I don't know what those guys. Because I'm going to one place and pick the other place. So this is fraud. So I just get canceled. I didn't pay anything, so they lost.
Hmm.
But then we went back to the place. And then I'm pissed. I'm like, you guys are a scammer. I told them. I've realized what they do. They work for the hotel. I mean, for that club. Those
Hmm.
girls work for the place too, and the money they had came from the bar. Okay, here's the money. It's like so what? It's part of the hustle, bro. Then one of the girl I was with, somehow a girl came, so he kicked her out. Like she left. So she got pissed because I guess she was gonna get paid. What she told me. I said, you know what? The girls are drinking. It's not even champagne. It's sparkling grape juice. That's what. So I'm like, wow. So I'm paying $400 for sparkling grape juice, and that's the hustle, bro. And I'm like, then
Yeah.
I curse those guys out. I say, they say, well, I don't, they say, well, I don't see why you don't believe us, and I realized, was just business, I felt scammed. I'm like, after that, I'm like, how I didn't see it from the beginning, bro. And they are in those places where, first of all, they have to buzz you out to leave the spot. So if you don't
Yeah,
pay,
that's a big sign.
if you don't pay, they will probably beat you up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not getting myself. So I just went ahead and paid. But bro, I was so pissed because 400. So after that, I'm like, you know what? When I
Don't do
walk
this
around
again.
Turkey, I'm like, because what they do, they target single individual men. So they know this guy is, he's bored. So let's try to, and that's what that's the only part I don't like about Turkey, that nightlife, it's whack. Unless you go to Bebek, they have a
Hmm.
good club, it's called Sorte. But also remember with that guy Willie from Africa, the tall guy,
Yeah.
when we
Yeah, I
went to
remember.
Bebek, they didn't want to let him in. Remember?
Yeah, why was that? Why didn't they want to let him in?
That was
Because he was too.
so like we were with him, they didn't want us none of us in because that guy look he had a dusty look.
He did. He did.
And let's
He
face
really
it,
did.
no, Turkish is very I wouldn't say racist, but the classist. If you look dusty, then they won't spend, they won't let you in the club. That's what they are. You have to be
That's
up to
true.
par. You have to emit a certain air of debonair, like you have money. And if you look like this, then you most likely to get in, unless you go to the scamming place. Yeah. So, but when I do by myself, I went to all the club, never got a problem getting in, never. But when it's two dudes, somehow I don't know what it is. Once you by yourself, so you get in, and you're gonna, so that's what they have, just a weird way of doing things. And I also saw it in Paris. When they want you to say, well, it's a private event. If they want you to be in, they think they won't spend anything, they say it's a private event.
Like
Or
an
if they don't know you.
exclusion.
I
Hmm.
hate those places, so I'm
Me
like,
too.
and
Remember,
over there,
remember.
go ahead.
Now, there's a place I want to ask you about. Do you remember the nightlife? And this is one of the craziest nightlife I think anywhere in the world. The nightlife in Buenos Aires. Do you remember that?
Oh,
Oh my God, that was the best nightlife anywhere in the world. I've never seen a nightlife like that anywhere in the world than
no.
Buenos Aires.
Buenos Aires got a good nightlife, and it's everything. I mean, they include everybody. Doesn't matter what you look like, just get in and this. And that's what I like about that. They don't have that. Also, Chile is the exact same thing. You
Yeah.
come in, just get
Hmm.
in. But the place like
Exactly.
Turkey to me is like, and I mean, being honest with you, I mean, I like Turkey. I like Turkey because I like to. They have lots of good food, lots of good sightseeing, and
I love Turkey. I love Turkey because we know how to act. We know how to do the right thing while there, but and look the right way and go to the right places. But a lot of
meet the
people
right
go there.
and meet the
Exactly.
right person. I mean, it's all about the circle. When you see that, you see a young
It
guy
is.
that and so Turkey can either have a good time, but it's Turkish for seasoned individual, for mature people, not the young guy that
Absolutely.
just is gonna have a bad time. So
A YouTuber. Yeah, it's not the
yeah,
place for you. Turkey's not the
no,
place.
it's not. It's not. It's not the place. You have to be. You have to have substance in order for it to be. Otherwise,
They
and
will disregard you quickly in Turkey. You're
yeah, they
totally
do.
disregarded.
Yeah, how many
Yeah,
times I've been to Turkey? How many times I've been there? I can't even count the amount of time I've been there, and then so. If I remember, even the banking system. Remember, we opened the account with no issue, with no problems with our
I
passport.
know.
It was very, was
I still have
very,
that account, believe it or not. I
It's
still have
silver.
that
Yeah, I
account.
still do. Just have to get your new card because when I went there, I renewed my card.
Yeah, that's right. Next time I'm there, I'll do the same thing.
Yeah,
Renew
you
my
went to
card because that's
TV.
a good bank.
I
That's a
just
good
went there.
bank.
Yep. And I went there, and then the other day I tried to make a transfer. We went through perfectly, but I I lost my chip. You know, they gave you those tourist chip that last only the length.
No, I
If you have
have
a
no
three
idea
months
what
visa,
my
they get
chips are.
no, because it has to because once you renew residency, then I said this time when I'm done doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna go there and do things properly, get the residency, get the regular working plan, so I can operate freely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And remember,
exactly. That's a
we
good.
see after that account also in Bulgaria, we see got an account with Postbank.
I know. I forgot about. Yeah, that's right. Our cards are still waiting for us. Remember? I like Bulgaria though, but it's a weird place. You got to go there. You got to go there in a different kind of light.
Oh,
But
now the EU,
so they joined the EU after all.
we should have got a residency back then.
We should have. We
We'd
really should
have
have.
now we'd have the EU residency.
Yeah, we
And
should have
remember,
got the.
I foresaw that, I say, because we've been to those places. I mean, we've been to places where it was like other places. I remember, like we say, yeah, we should have, but they were so. I mean, we were rushing. We had some other things to do. That's what we didn't actually. But now, yeah,
Yeah, I know
those,
we were rushing a lot there that time, but I
yeah,
like Sophia though. I like
yes,
Sophia.
yeah. I would like to go back there, but in a different. Like I would like to. This time, I would like to be able to go and explore East Europe in depth. Like go to Slovenia, go to
All of the stands, all of
Bosnia,
the stands. Yeah,
Serbia, Kazakhstan, be able to enjoy
Uzbekistan.
because
Yeah,
I'm not interested in Paris. I'm not interested in Spain. I'm not interested in those now because this is played out, because Spain is like being the Congo. I mean, sorry, Paris.
oh yeah, same thing.
It is the
Just
difference. But I
wanna.
want to go to those places where like go to Norway, Denmark, Finland, kind of explore, but spend I don't know
That's
a
right.
month at a time, maybe
Iceland,
able
Iceland, Iceland
yeah,
is
and
awesome
really
too.
spend at least a month to be able to immerse myself, be able to understand those things and hop around. I want to do that, like I can actually I can do everything remotely and be able to explore those places and really yeah. David said I
Yeah,
want to
I'm,
do
I'm gonna take a vacation here soon and hang out with my kids for a while. Then I think I'm gonna go on a world tour, looking for different opportunities. But we need to hang out though. Where do you think we need to? I want to go down out to the Maldives, and also
yeah
I think I want to take a
The Seychelles or
Seychelles.
Seychelles. I
Yeah,
want to go
absolutely.
there. Maldives, Mauritius
Fiji.
Island, then Fuji,
Yeah,
Madagascar. I'm able to kind
exactly.
of to explore those places like exactly that
Gibraltar is
Gibraltar.
off the hook too. They got a great nightlife.
I want to go.
Lebanon, if it's
I, I want
peaceful.
to go to. I want to go to Malta.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I want to go to Guernsey as well. Guernsey Island, all those places like you'll be able
Hmm.
to explore. Have a.
Isle of Man. Yeah, Guernsey
You
and
know
Isle
what?
of
Where I
Man.
want
I
to go?
want to go.
I want to go to Marrakesh and Rabat and be able to explore
Morocco. Yeah.
depth because I don't know much about North Africa. Go to Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and say, yeah, this place they're racist. I'm like, I don't have any problem with that.
I know, but
To me,
most of my
first
yeah,
of all, when I go to those places, I stay in 5-star hotels, so they have to cater to me. I don't care.
exactly. Say 5 stars. We
I,
platinum members for life. You know
I know.
what are you talking about?
I don't do Airbnb, so I don't go to this place in
Exactly.
Airbnb stuck into like
Hell
I go
no.
to 5-star
Hell no.
place when I get 5-star treatment and meet 5-star people. That's what I do. Yeah, I don't go to those just go and like no. I go to this place where you go there,
Exclusive.
exclusive, you welcome, you get a treatment. So that's why season guy, my experience overseas has been delightful because I never
Wonderful.
felt
Yeah.
any because I go to places where usually I mean those fan clubs, they always refer you to like I remember I was in Turkey. I want to go to Sorte. The hotel called, the concierge called and made a reservation
It's-
for Sorte. When we went with Troy, it
yeah.
was
Yeah.
overlooking the
Exactly.
water. It was like it was very nice place.
Very
They had
exclusive. Very exclusive.
exclusive. So the hotel that so you come there with you have reservation. Doesn't matter which color you have. Even the rest, well, it's a concierge that did the reservation, so you get access.
Yeah, they make sure you get the right spot. But if you go there, in shorts and with a
Nah,
iPhone going, let me take your picture. You
that
know,
that that that,
that
that
kind of
gringo
shit.
that gringo look. And also,
That
here's the thing.
American ass.
Also, you need to understand. I mean, you go to a place like you like this, walking around with your
Phone.
I own video gaming. They don't like that. You look. It's a whack look.
Yeah,
You,
it's
you
cheap.
know, it's cheap, unfortunately. But unfortunately, I mean, that's how they earn their living. So we cannot blame them. But it just in our
Wrong
case, that's
places.
something.
Sometimes they go to the wrong place. They just go
In
to
our
the wrong
case,
places
it's not
sometimes.
something that we would do. You know,
Yeah, hell no.
no,
No.
no, no,
You
no. I
know,
go to places. I go strong. So that's exactly how I operate. I will go to places.
yeah.
Okay, here, here I am. Not just yeah. Oh, yep.
Well,
Oh, that's true. When are the election in Venezuela?
November
Tomorrow?
5th. No, no, tomorrow. Oh, yeah, there's been America.
No,
Okay, yeah.
No, 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 no.
Tomorrow.
Oh
Yeah,
crap,
what happened?
Venezuela. No, I just wonder who's going to because this guy
Who's gonna
said that
win?
if you lose the elections, say if you lose the elections, it's gonna be a
Bloodbath.
bloodbath. Yeah, I'm like, hey, what's wrong with
Yeah,
those guys?
yeah.
Like if you lose, you just lose. Just move on. And they said that, as a matter of fact, his campaign, the way it ended its campaign, it was the weakest one they ever seen because people are waking up. So I think this time, I think for the first time, they're gonna see some change.
And he needs to be out. He definitely needs to be out.
No, that's a
'Cause they've
beautiful place,
suffered. They
though.
suffered enough. Yeah, I know it is. Venezuela is off the hook, but
Remember,
yeah, he needs to
back in
be
the
out.
days, you didn't see Venezuelan, you didn't see them outside there.
'Cause they
You
love
didn't see
being
them
there.
outside exactly. But now you see that they've been
Yeah.
displaced. You know, before it was a whole different. If you met the guy from Venezuela, the guy was really he was really he was
Intelligent and
intelligent, he
self-sufficient,
was self-sufficient and
educated. Yeah.
professional, educated.
Mhm.
Now it's just a mess, and they turned that place to something, and so the
And they
guy
had some of
needs
the
to
most
go.
beautiful women in the world there. Oh my God.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
my God.
oh
You know,
yeah.
I
You know,
used to love them.
our boy was there.
Who? Well,
Oh,
which one?
from Dubai.
Really?
Yeah, he was there. He
Where?
spent he spent like 2 months in Venezuela.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was
I
telling
wouldn't
me,
mind going to Caracas. I wouldn't mind going to Caracas, but
and he
I
was
want to
telling
let
me,
the political environment get right.
Mini, Venezuela, those one are beautiful. Those are 6,000 dirham women. You get there for free there.
Remember that? He's a judge all women by the cost of how much it cost him.
He said those are 6,000 dirham women. There you get it for free all over the place. It's beautiful. He was in awe. It was just amazing. It was like, wow.
6,000 hours. Yeah, those are some of the most beautiful women in the world, by and large. But you do run the risk of getting killed there these days. So because
Yeah, I mean,
it's
South
bad.
America has became a pretty dangerous. Even Colombia, lots of people getting scoped and getting they're running a long game on you. So
They do,
just,
and
you have to
all
be
the
very.
institutions working with the hotels, the police department,
That's the
everybody works with
problem.
them. Yeah,
It's been
it's no joke.
yeah,
You gotta be careful
bro.
about that.
I don't know if when I was in Dubai, I met this guy. He's from here, and good friend of mine. He owns a dealership, and then he's from DR, and I met him in Dubai. Their family are huge. They distribute everything, and from food to liquor and this and that.
Hmm.
Bro, I'm watching the news. The guy getting extradited to the United States for drug trafficking.
Wow,
But they have one of the
wow,
best dealership here. I'm like, what? But
wow.
then, but I had that. I'm like, okay, this guy is doing better than his dad's been doing being best for years. But how come the son will apart himself from the dad's doing because they had $30 million worth of car in inventory. So I'm
Well,
like I said, and those guys were selling two, three, four, five Bentley, Ferrari every day. You're like, no, those are just, they were just writing it as a set, but you know what it is in real life. But just, yeah. So,
Flipping the
yep,
money.
exactly.
Well, you
There you
live
go.
that life, you pay that cost.
Yep. Now, you got beautiful kids, and, because you say, when Uncle Sam wants you, you get
He,
extradited, you're gone for at
he
least
got
10
you.
years. Oh, they got, oh,
At least.
first of all,
Yeah.
in those cases, it's a long investigation. You know what it stemmed from? 2018, 2019. And 5 years later,
They
what I don't
worked him.
understand, oh, the US will take their time. They have all the time in the world. They will observe, they will watch you. And you think, yeah,
I
I got
got
away.
away with it.
No,
That doesn't
no,
happen in the
no, no.
States.
You come and bad, as the way. I mean, when you expected the list, when you chill, no, bro. That's all like, some people say. You have to be careful. Uncle Sam don't
Yeah,
get away
bro.
from Uncle Sam don't play.
That's
If I
why
do
I
catch
choose
up
to
to
do
you,
nothing illegal. Nothing. I don't
no,
even jaywalk. And I don't mean like I live in fear, but there's so much money to be out there to be
bro,
made, and so much stuff to do. You don't need to
life
do
is
those
too
other things.
short to be
It
messing
is.
with. Come on, I'm not in my 20s anymore. Where okay, you're gonna give it 2 years. Okay, 22. Shit, now 1 month is like is a lifetime. I'm not doing that.
One day, one
One,
overnight stay. I'm not interested.
no, I'm not
That's it.
interested. Not interested.
Yeah,
So
bro. There's no chance in the world for
and
that.
I know
What
the
do
guy.
you lose?
Were
Mhm.
together, when it was in Dubai, we met, and when I was in there, he kept inviting me, yeah, come on, let's go have some drink. But something was telling me, nah, you, 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 the deer loves to, it's guilt by association.
It is. It is.
Let's
Oh
say,
yeah.
let's say, what about a car from the guy, and they're gonna look and say, well, there's this guy. They start to say, this guy from this place, from this country. They start making stuff up in their head. They're gonna put the whole scenario, and it becomes a reality. And here's the bad part about it: they will put everything on the news like you're really guilty. They will tarnish your image. Even you come clean, but it's over. You're already being tarnished. And I'm like, no, 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 no.
Stay away from
And,
that.
and they televise everything. That's why I'm like, that's why I love Dubai. Dubai, you cannot defame anybody.
You cannot.
You
You
cannot.
cannot
So I'm
hurt
like,
them.
so you cannot hurt them because reputation is a good thing, unless so you cannot just. That's why there's no such a thing as doxing people. Do this. That's what I like about Dubai. You
Yeah,
know.
they'll put you under the jail here. You go online and start defaming somebody or hurting them or slandering them. Oh man, they'll hurt you here.
Yep.
This is the wrong place. I like it. I like Dubai for that reason.
Of course, because sometimes people do things to hurt you because a deal went wrong. They try to, like, because people. That's the thing I don't like about the US with all those fake websites where you can report anybody without any verification. I think it's wrong
Hmm.
because those
Absolutely.
those things are just to tarnish your image and based on fallacies and that be and then you have to justify yourself. I'm like, nah, that's why I like Dubai. It's like, nope.
Yeah,
It has to
you
be
cannot do that here.
it has to be hardcore evidence, not just hearsay, she say. You have to be like, okay, what is it? And I really like that. Yeah,
Yeah, the real crime is crime here, and not any of that frivolous crap that people like the innuendo of crime. And then they have a no tolerance of drug thing here and illicit behavior and substances. So I mean, it's a pretty good area. I love being in this part of the world. You just don't play now, although it does exist in some places. It's just
no,
not
it,
as
it, it
prevalent as
always
anywhere
gonna
else.
exist, but it's just not as
Pervasive.
exactly. So at least it's more discreet. It's more It's not
Yeah,
like elsewhere where people live, but in yeah, like be- it's been institutionalized. Like imagine a place like
exactly.
Colombia where they know exactly where when it come from Medellin, they know exactly even
Yeah,
Mexico with the Sinaloa Carter. Imagine you hear those names, in places like Dubai, you guys will disappear. The whole cartel will be just history.
exactly.
They often play.
Exactly.
They will just destroy the whole thing. Boom, everybody. Do you know
Not
secret?
not interested. I'm not interested.
No,
No
no, no,
one.
no.
I'm,
You have to.
I'm
I
not
mean,
ready.
we do all you have to do things. That's the thing about the good thing about Dubai. I mean, you you are obliged to go by certain rules, and then small stuff like especially if you have kids. I mean, your kids are safe. You have cameras everywhere. There won't be no shootings. There won't be
Kidnapping, no
kidnapping.
rapes, none of that.
So that's what I like about it. I love that. To me, it's. People say, "What's your favorite place?" I say it's Dubai because I know there. At least people say, "Yeah, but it's not democracy." I say, they don't need one. Look at the country. Look at what they did. I'm like, "What do you need democracy for?" So, more like you don't need that. Because look at what's going on with. I don't want to get into politics, but look at what is going in our spot in the U.S.
U.S. right now.
You look like a reality show. We,
Yeah,
we
well, it's bad. It's bad right now.
We have to
It
have
looks
real
like a joke.
debates. We have to have real debates where people were like this and that, at least. And now it's like you and I talking now. I'm attacking you personally, like not your ideology. It's like
Mhm.
it becomes personal. Like you can do this. You can even go. You can
It's
golf.
just it's vitriol. It's vitriolic. It's
You
very
can golf. Of
vitriolic.
course, I golf. My handicap is this and I say, hold on, this is kid stuff. It's like my son
You're
went to. Yeah,
absolutely correct.
I play football better than you. No, no, I'm better. I'm like I say, hold on, guys. What? How
Yeah.
can we stoop this low? I'm like, it was beautiful to see. I was like, oh my God. You know, yeah, it's very unfortunate. I'm like, things are, yeah. Everybody saw,
I can,
Dubai, they have a working system. Everything works there. So let's leave it as is. Let it
bro, in the
change, yeah.
morning, it's already 3 o'clock in the morning here. I got a meeting at seven
Yeah, same
o'clock.
here.
So,
Yeah.
but let's listen. I got a couple other topics I want to discuss over the next couple of days. Let's do this again.
Let's do
Let's
let,
do
let,
this
let,
again
let,
on Monday.
let's coordinate. So, well, it was nice talking to you, and let's talk offline. Okay.
All right, bro. Good talking to you
Okay. Take
too.
care. Okay.
Thanks
Same here.
everybody watching.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye bye.